I'm not aware of any evaluation that the district is doing to use the wells for anything other than an emergency source of supply. So I'm unfamiliar with that discussion, other than we're evaluating the cost per acre foot to operate.
But I can't find the seas. First forgiving long more demanding one for me.
Outside question reports, standard report format. Again, we did answer to the state of California on this. There was a complaint filed related to the outside place of use. A statement was made to the state that we are supplying water outside the place of use and not
We're designated victims. Mr. Wicks betrayed.
That's not true. We submitted them.
40 years deceit and fraud, but who do you think still pays? Me is you.
With a situation like that, do you hear back as well that we were in compliance? Or will we get feedback? I mean, I'm just wondering how the communication cycle works.
I'm following up on it, so I would assume that I'll hear about it, but in many cases, you only hear if they if they have a violation. You only hear if... You only hear if... You only hear if... You only hear if... They go with the violation.
Designated victims, Mr. Wicks betrayed. 40 years deceit and fraud, but who do you think still pays? Me is you.
Accountability? Very strict or attacking too. I don't understand this truth. Because, no, me
Is you!
Listen, hear that? Morse code. Trust me, I was a Boy Scout. SOS. Save our service. It's gotta be.
And I did not hand out the water loss report for this month. I just realized now that I'm looking at it. But I can tell you that it will be somewhere between 25 and 31% as it has been.
Justice for all. Liberty and 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 justice for all.
We've done
Suspicious activity. We have done some suspicious activity. To listen to this message again, press 1.
We've done
Suspicious activity.
We've done
Suspicious activity.
misinformation and extra information going around about some of the things that we've done that we're going to address in this meeting and future meetings that are stated incorrectly to where people are getting upset about things that we've done completely correctly and completely by the book. I'll repeat it again. There's nothing on the agenda of the board that, or in any direction of the board, that those are to be used for anything other than emergency supply.
Completion of each well. each well. That's what he's referencing, if that's a fair way of putting it. So, and they are black and white, but they are on the website and they are in color. So you can see what we've contributed.
Suspicious activity.
It's a routine, normal thing. It's not unusual to have those things occur. And state agencies ask for stuff all the time. It's just kind of a bummer when they get misinformation and then we have to respond to it.
It says, well, number 1, power budgeted as operating full-time to meet the demand customers located outside. My request there is you can budget whatever well is the cheapest to run to provide water in our outside place of use customers, because the wells were put in for the community, and so let's maximize the benefit of the options that we have.
When I first got here, I had a property owner for the same property that I was working on in 1997 when I left here, that was supposed to develop then, that was considering developing now.
I mean, there were 6 or 7 subdivisions that wanted water. Some are annexed, some are not. Some have pipes, some don't. Some pay money, some don't. It's all over the place. And it's all over the place because the original license, 11395, wasn't followed. And it clearly was done intentionally. If you go back and you look at the records in the 1980s, you heard discussions in this room. People arguing, is it in or is it out? Russ Snyder said it's in. He went out there and did it, and it was in. And it was out. And it went on and on and on like that. And Danny, you're being very disingenuous when you talk about for the community. Your definition of community is a far cry of what mine is. My community are the people that are entitled to the Merced River water. They're the people that bought the property with all the rules and the regulations, a CID, a community development, with all the strings attached to their property with that. But the one thing we had was water. And that's what everybody wants. They don't want our property, they don't want our rules, they don't want to live in the subdivision, they just want the water. And even before you were on the board, you were talking about doing that. And you got on here and you did it. And the way you did it, personally, I think is criminal. And the way you did it, personally, I think is criminal. And the way you did it, personally, I think is criminal. And the way you did it, personally, I think is criminal.
You can see what we've contributed.
Suspicious activity.
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 Liberty and justice for all.
You can see what we've contributed.
Suspicious activity.
Liberty and justice for all.
You can see what we've contributed.
End of messages.
Yes, you.